Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday. Well, I haven't been on here for a while, but like I said, I would come back every end of the month to share about all of the deceased people that I dream about. I'm coming on today to let you know I was leaving church today, and I met a person I knew for a long time. Actually, I think I'm about 16 years older than her, but nevertheless, we somehow got on the topic of dreams, and I found out that she was sort of experiencing the same thing. Cause I know I done dreamed at least about 2 dozen of people since the last time I was on here last month. And some of the people I might have dreamed about 2 or 3 times, but hey, it was a night that I dreamed about them, this night, that night, and others. Like I said, it ain't, a lot of people said at first, oh, that's because you lost your sons. No, 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 no. I dream about people who've been gone for many years. I have asked different people, like, what, why you think? But nobody really got the answer. So I really don't even ask people what they think. But it really, like, caught my attention today when I was talking to a young lady, and she told me how she was dreaming about my dad, and he'd been going a long time. Actually, she was living on the same street we were for years, and she said she was dreaming about all the older ladies that was on the street when we were there, because the street where we lived at now is like vacant city. Only maybe one or two still live there. It was the main street at one time. It was the street where I gave a lot of events, for the town. I called it June 19th, the first day of the hardcore, but I gave that for maybe going on about 8 or 9 years. Go to City Hall, block off the street. I gave the senior certificates, respecting them and honoring them. It was a little hair show. My brother was the DJ. Him and my brother Johnny with Dr. Rock and JC was the DJs. I had a stage built. I had different little entertainment, had fun food, dunk take, bounce house, had all that going on in South Second. That was the second chapter, because the first chapter was when I was growing up, and we had the Morgans, Miss Margie Morgan and Red Morgan. They had the store, and then Mr. Buddy had the pool room, and then we had a Mary's confectionery store where we bought donuts. It was a lot happening on Second Street, and before that, it was mostly all Caucasian. But when another color came in, a Caucasian moved out, and then they cut down all the trees. So it was very few of the first timers stayed on Second Street. But nevertheless, I met her and we talked a little bit, and I'm thinking I might bring her on maybe towards the end of this month, and she can share. So if anybody else out there that it seem odd, dreaming about deceased people on a regular, you can inbox me on Facebook, and maybe we just can make a whole, screen of people talking about their experiences. But nevertheless, I was really like, okay, it didn't feel so strange when she started telling me about her dreams, but I still dream about one or more. I dream about one or more deceased people's, persons every night. It's normal to me now. But for some reason, it's happening to me, but it don't bother me. But I like to talk about it sometime, and then to meet somebody on that same level talking about it, much younger than me, like about 16 years younger than me, talking about it. I was like, oh, okay. I was feeling her conversation, so I would like to touch base with her, and maybe her and I and whoever else inbox me, we can, like, maybe about 6 of us get on there talking, on a Facebook or something, and sharing, because like I said to her, I said, well, I know in the Bible somewhere they said that Joseph was in the pit, and they had to come get him out of the pit to take him to the palace, because he was the only one could interpret that king's dream. And I always say, oh, I wonder if it's a Joseph out there for me. But It might not be a judge. It just might be more people that is going through the same thing. Now, why? Only God knows why, but it don't bother me. Ain't nothing scary or nothing like that. It's like I'm actually with them in my dream and wake up, I'm here. So call it whatever you want to call it, but that's the way it goes down. And so I was happy for that. And also, it's summertime. A lot is happening. A lot of people, I know, a lot of people, I believe God bring us through something because he know that it's going to be many more coming after us. Really, that's a true fact. So I know a friend of mine, a childhood friend, Lanny Morgan. I know she lost her son. And from what I understand, one of my third husband, his niece, he lost a great niece. And I'm just sorry for those families because I know what you're going through. So I do know what made me get through. I asked God to help me. Really, I asked God to help me. And that's, a lot of people say, oh, Miss Luana, you so strong. I'm not no stronger than the next one. But I leaned on God to help me. How can I say? I believed he could, and I received it. So I believed it, and I received it. Now that's something with my Harry's mother used to be my mother-in-law would always say, leave it and receive it. So I left it up to God, and that's how I made it this day. I have sad days, anniversary, birthdays. You never know how you're going to be. Like I shared before, I actually only have no months out of the year that I don't have a friend's birthday or death date or a family member's birthday or death date. So I'm always on something, but God take me through each and every time for whatever it is I'm experiencing. My emotions, he handled those, And I do know life ain't all about sadness, but as I go, I realize that life is worth living and life is to be cherished because there's so many that went before us. And if we still here, and if we went through something, I really feel like God brought you through that so you can help that next person that might come across your path, and you can help them. Because see, a certain virtue go out when another person know what you're talking about. That's just like being a golfer or an airplane pilot. It got to be somebody that know what it feel like exactly, Now, we got similarities. Now, we're not all exactly in our grief at the same space or time, but I'm quite sure it's similarities somewhere down the line because losing a loved one is a hurtful thing. Whether they died, whatever condition they died, it's whatever situation is. And I think the hardest thing is to learn how to live without them in our everyday life. That's kind of hard to get used to, but God will help you to get used to it. And just because they're gone, you don't have to mark them off and don't think of them. No, keep the memory alive. See, a person can't take your memory from you. God can keep it. You can hold on to the memory if they meant anything to you. And mostly our loved ones do. Our loved ones, our good friends, So until next time, I just want to say I've been taping ever since the TV show closed. I got at least about over 100 something long videos on Miss Luana Real Talk, and I have over 60 short videos and Miss Luana Real Talk YouTube channel. And you push the cover of my book, and there you go. You can see all what. But I talk about the aftermath. See, people think after we bury our loved ones, that's it. No. We got to learn how to live in the aftermath. And we do that day by day. Different feelings every day, different feelings every year. So I want to keep hold of all that. So that's why I started Miss Luana Real Talk. If you ever have a topic you want to talk about, I don't know it all. I only know what God brought me through. So maybe you want to share what God brought you through. So just inbox me on Facebook and let's get it going. So until next time, God bless you. Happy Sunday. I'm glad I was able to make it to church today. And I'm just happy about that, because you got to keep God in it no matter what you're doing. in your life, you better put God in it, because that